Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we took out Colorado 2 days ago. And so now we're going to take out the other American Tier 6 battleship, North Carolina. As kind of a compare and contrast the two ships and see which one is truly superior. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out there right now. It's North Carolina. North Carolina is superior to Colorado. And you could make an argument, but honestly, the speed of the North Carolina is what does it. It's also got a better gun layout. It's got the standard battleship layout. It's got 2 triples in the front, 1 triple at the rear, meaning you get 6 guns over the front instead of the 4 guns that you get with the Colorado. So you find yourself less often having to go broadside. Now, that doesn't stop people from going broadside in this thing, and this thing still has the weak bow that the Colorado enjoys and other Tier 6 battleships with that 25mm armor. And this thing doesn't get the torpedo protection that the Colorado has, I believe. I could be wrong. So there's a lot of things that could go horribly wrong here. Now, we get the Dunkirk running from our side right off the bat, right? And you can see, I believe I ping him, say, hey, dude, I could use your help over here, you know. But people going to do what they're going to do. But it's not going to stop what I'm planning to do. You guys know me. My number 1 rule, try to win your side. That's our number 1 rule. I can't control what everybody else does. What I can control is what I do and where I position myself and how I manage to put myself in position to do the best that I can. And we're going to do a pretty good job of showcasing that in this particular fight. Despite everything in this match going horribly. Now you can see that shot wasn't very well placed. I was expecting him to turn a little bit. He does turn, but not as much as I was expecting. So we get 1 shell that hits him and it doesn't do anything. It just ricochets. But we're going to keep steaming into the center of the sea cap. Now, we got New Mexico headed towards us. And you can see I'm checking all the things. I'm checking what my maximum range is and stuff, because that's one thing that is a downside to this particular ship. It doesn't have the best range in the world. It's only like 17.8 or something like that. So it's not particularly a range battleship. And it is very good as a pushing battleship, just like Iowa is because of its decent armor. But the problem with this thing, it doesn't have 32mm bow. So anything with 16-inch guns and above, well, 15-inch guns and above, goes straight through the bow. Anything with 16-inch guns and above could potentially citadel you through the bow. That is one huge weakness of the North Carolina, is its ability to be citadeled right through the bow. Now you can see I've got New Mexico and Scharnhorst heading our direction. New Mexico's broadside, he presents a much better target for us, so we take that shot and we get a pretty good result out of this, punching him for, you know, it was a good chunk, probably about 10k. So we're going to push off to the right side. And we're going to use the island cover to shield us from these battleships to allow us to capture this base. This is something that I do pretty well, that a lot of battleship captains don't. Now, I learned this because I play all the classes, right? I play destroyers, I play cruisers, I play battleships. I don't care about carriers because, honestly, they don't really teach you anything about playing the game. But as a battleship captain, learning to use the terrain to mask your approach and potentially limit who can shoot you as we get 10k off of the Scharnhorst is a huge advantage because they can't shoot us back. We were able to get another shot off there completely untouched, and it was a very good result. Plus, we're not being reset. Now, the guy behind me, different story. He's not pushing using the island. He's staying outside the island so that he can continue to shoot those guys. But the problem with that is they can continue to shoot you as well. And that's going to keep these guys resetting this base a lot. And it's really freaking frustrating. I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to lead to a solo cap for me because I've got all the cap points and he keeps getting reset. But we are finally going to get this thing capped. And you can see I'm starting to push out on these guys. Gonna stick my nose around the island and start to make something happen. Now, you can see our team on the right side should have a huge advantage. They have 2 battleships over there. They got a cruiser, a couple of cruisers in the cap. Like, they should have the advantage. But even with the advantage, sometimes your team just does not do well. Now, this broadside New Mexico at 9.8 kilometers, he's pretty much dead. There's no way you get away with being like that exposed against a tier 6 battleship. I don't care what tier 6 battleship it is. You're going to sail around full broadside, you deserve what you get. Now, obviously, our battleship buddy that we have with us went to the inside of the island finally to limit who could shoot him, but now he's not able to shoot back at these guys and help me finish them off. Otherwise, that New Mexico would have been dead. We would have been able to shoot the Scharnhorst with this next shot, or with that shot, instead of finishing off New Mexico. But he does finally get a chance to help shoot. He shoots the carrier, and I agree with that decision. Getting a carrier out of the game as quickly as possible is huge. Now watch, we citadel the carrier with the first shot from the rear turret of Justice, and that's when the Fubuki shows up, and I'm like, oh great. So not only did we have the Scharnhorst, the New Mexico, and the carrier, but we got the destroyer over here as well. And you know me, you gotta shoot destroyers. You can't complain about destroyers being OP if you do not shoot the destroyers. So as much as I would love to have shot the carrier right there, I have to shoot the destroyer. Now obviously with a destroyer getting detected, what is he doing? He's launching torpedoes. There's no other reason for a destroyer to ever get detected unless it's a gunboat and he's just gunboating you in the open water. But for a Fubuki to get himself detected, that means he's shooting at it, or he's launching torps at us. So Sirov goes behind the smokescreen of the destroyer, meaning we lose sight on him for a little bit. So we go back to shooting the Scharnhorst, and we start turning away. We made a huge course correction to get away from the freaking destroyer, and lo and behold, torpedoes were spotted. Who'd have thunk it? And then we get hit by the skip bombs of the carrier, showcasing just why I wanted to get rid of this man early in this match. And he's now spotted again, so we're going to take that opportunity to get another shot at him. And I'm not going to lie, I was expecting this man to be dead in that salvo, because it looked pretty solid. And it was a solid hit, 5 hits, but no citadel this time. So I citadel him while he was closer, but further away I couldn't citadel him. Straight. But Francesco Caracciolo kills our Dunkirk, and now leaves me 1v1ing him with him having a smokescreen, and I can't do anything about it. Now the good news is I should be at least as fast as he is, so he's not going to get away from us, so it's just a matter of time before he runs out of smoke. And you can see we are being attacked by the torpedo bombers, and we're going to turn away from them. We know that they have the slowest torpedoes on the planet, so as long as you're trying, and as long as the guy doesn't like have the best aim in the world, like you can slip the torpedoes of any of the Russian carriers so easy. So easy. They also have a lot worse, what is it called? Initiation range, I guess would be. I can't think of what, it eludes me. But Caracciolo angled slightly, but at this range it shouldn't matter. Like, that should have been a death. Like, that should have been a death strike. But didn't get a single freaking, a single citadel on him. He's basically broadside. And unlike the rest of the Tier 5, Tier 4, Tier 3 Italian battleships, he doesn't have a turtleback. This is the Tier 6, and the Tier 6 and Tier 7 do not have that turtleback. Usually when they go broadside, it is death. And we're going to reach over the island once again as we get double fired again by these skip bombs. Which is real unfortunate. But we're about to get our heal, and we're about to get our damage control back. Now the good thing about the Caracciolo is it has those SAP secondaries. SAP cannot set fires. They can do more damage than regular AHE can, but they cannot set fires. So here we've got the Caracciolo again. As he gets behind the island, we take one more shot. He's turning in. Again, it should have been a citadel, but it wasn't. This man has the RNG of the gods on his side. I have never seen a Caracciolo sail broadside this many times. And that time he was turning towards me, which means he's raising his citadel. But never seen it happen so many times where he gets away with it. Now here, I should have left this guy to go back and immediately fight the Scharnhorst. Because me continuing to chase, you can see the carrier was able to finish him off. It's a Vesa. Vesa has AP bombs. AP bombs versus battleships, no bueno. But you can see the Sharny is eventually coming towards us finally. And now we get to turn all of our firepower to him. We've done a pretty decent job up to this point of holding on to the majority of our health. We're still just under the half HP mark. Now, we have a cap. They have a cap. They have a huge ship advantage, and we take a nasty hit here, which we knew we were going to. We're turning in, and again, this could be one where we get citadeled because we're turning in, but we have to turn in to get ourself angled and prepared to get all of our firepower on this Scharnhorst, and you know, still be cognizant of the fact he has 6-kilometer torpedoes. So we don't want to get within that 6 kilometers if we can help it. Now, obviously, with us closing the distance, he can launch those torpedoes from further out. So we've got to be aware of that. Now, he is angled, but it shouldn't matter. He's still a Scharnhorst. He still has a 25mm bow, and we punched through the bow with 4 shells, getting 8,000 damage. Thought we would do better than that, but we didn't. Now, we're getting into that danger zone of torpedoes, and you'll see that I get one more good shot here. I'm looking. I know that if I get one salvo, one decent salvo, this Scharnhorst is dead. At this point, he has less than 15k. All it takes is one decent salvo. He is over-angled. He doesn't realize it. We're aiming high because we don't want to hit the belt. We use the plane, and we absolutely I don't say devastate, but we absolutely devastate him as we go in. Now, we're also heading into the center of the B cap. Now, the carrier is still doing what the carrier is doing, and honestly, I end up spending way too much time caring about the carrier. Because at the end of the day, while this guy has had the RNG on his side in terms of setting fires, he really hasn't been that effective, and we've got our clear sky medal. Now, we've got 143,000 damage, and if you look at the last known of the enemy ships, you can see we are getting attacked over the island from the right. Now, the goal here is to put ourselves in the cap, start capping the base, and then start to turn towards the outside edge, because we have a feeling that they're going to be coming around the island to my right. Now, us winning this match just went out the window. Like, I'm fairly confident you guys realize that this went out the window a long time ago. We are literally the only one that was able to do any sort of damage in this match. Now, 2 people were able to be killed by somebody else, but up to this point, there are 4 people dead. We've killed 2 of them. We got 140,000 damage. Like, there's been very little help for us on our side of the map. Carrier ends up dead. The battleship died on my side, so it has been pretty much us the entire time. And you can see I am starting to make the right move here. But the carrier comes in, and while the AA of the North Carolina is fantastic, and one of the other big advantages of North Carolina over Colorado is that you just don't even come close. Now, you see where those torpedoes landed at. I should not be, like, dodging these torpedoes, like, crazily. Like, I should have kept going towards the island here, and I should get my freaking guns pointed the other direction and lock them. And you can see I've got a guy detected off the bow. We're going to just go ahead, and he gets a very good opening salvo into us with the Graf Spee. And I'm not going to lie, I thought that this man was dead right here. I know that I overmatch him. I know that I'm fully capable of citadeling the Graf Spee through the bow. And I was pretty confident this man was dead. Look at that salvo. And of course, in true Spartan fashion, we leave him alive, and he's going to get loaded and finish us off. It's real unfortunate. We did battle our butts off. We did a really good job in this one, managing to pull over 150,000 damage against literally no teammates. But a Confederate Clear Sky High Cow, top of the leaderboard, coming in with just under 2,000 base XP. And the best players on their team only had 2,100 base XP. So we almost got more XP than everybody on their team. There was only 2 people that had more XP than us on the winning team. So let me know what you guys think. Who is truly superior, Colorado or North Carolina? I don't think it's even close. It's definitely North Carolina. But if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button. Leave a comment below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, I will see you in the next video.